Hello, everyone. Welcome to our webinar on setting up and using your VR headset with Yulio. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Nicole. I'm one of the client success specialists here at Yulio, and I'll be hosting today's session. So, our main objective of today's webinar is to get you prepared for using your virtual reality headset with Yulio and to go over some best practices for viewing and presenting in VR. If you have any questions that pop up during the session today, please feel free to enter them in the question box, and I'll stick around for a couple of minutes at the end of our session to answer any questions that might have come through. My contact details are also on screen now, so if you'd like to follow up on today's webinar with any questions or additional training, please feel free to reach out to me and I'll be happy to set that up with you. Lastly, if you do have to leave today's session early, I will be recording the full webinar and sending that to registrants later on. So you can always watch it back and you can share it with your team as well. So here's our agenda for today's session. I'll start off by talking a little bit about why you might want to start using a VR headset and which headsets are compatible with Yulio. We'll then get into connecting your headset and adding projects to your headset gallery. After that, I'll go over how you can view and share your VR projects and present in VR. And like I said, we're going to wrap up with a Q&A period. So you might be thinking, why should I use a VR headset? Can't I just show my clients the web browser experience? And technically, yes, you can. That will still offer a great 360-degree view of the space. However, presenting your design to your client in a VR headset offers a very unique experience that's both immersive and interactive. And it also provides a stronger sense of space and scale when you have that headset on. This immersive experience can help clients better understand design concepts, which in turn can reduce costly misunderstandings and improve client satisfaction overall. With your own teams, VR presentations can encourage collaboration and creative problem solving by allowing teams to explore design variations together in real time. So, for compatible headsets, Yulio is compatible with the Meta Quest series of headsets. In the last year or so, Meta has phased out the sale of some of their older headset versions. So, right now, they're only producing the 3 and 3S headsets. That being said, if you already own a previous version, you can still use it with Yulio. If you're looking to purchase a new headset, both the Quest 3 and 3S are great options. And they both offer a color camera for augmented reality applications. So that's our AR hotspots. If you want to learn more about the available options and kind of the specs of each, you can compare the Quest 3 and the 3S on the Meta website. Okay, so once you have your headset, the first thing you're going to want to do is download the Yulio Viewer app to your headset. You're going to need to download the app in order to connect your headset to your Yulio account and, of course, to later on view projects. So I'm just going to play this video here. And this is a video recording from within my VR headset. So once you have your headset, to download the app, you're going to put your headset on. And then before downloading, you're just going to want to make sure that your headset's connected to Wi Fi. And then you'll need Wi Fi to download the app. So once you have that done, you can open the Meta Horizon store. If you missed it, the Meta Horizon store, you can access that. It's the yellow shopping button here or orange button. So in the Meta Horizon store, you can just search for Yulio Viewer in the search bar. I think I actually just type in Yulio. And then from there, you'll see our app pop up. and then you can just go ahead and download the app. The app is free to download, so you don't have to worry about paying for that. All right. So once the app has actually downloaded, the next step would be to connect your headset to your Yulio account. So I'm going to again press play here. So you're just going to start by opening the Yulio app on your headset. And when you do this, when you open the app, you're going to be taken to your company lobby here. Um, and before that, you're going to notice some in-app onboarding. So the first time you download the app and open it, you'll be met with some in-app onboarding just to help you kind of get started. Once you've completed the onboarding, this is what you'll see. You'll have your lobby here, and there's actually going to be some sample projects in your lobby as well. To connect your headset, you're going to want to look down. So I'll press play now. And then find this connect button, and then just click on that. And then you're going to enter the email associated with your Yulio account. So once that's done, you can click connect, and then a confirmation email will be sent to you. So at this time, you would go ahead, take your headset off, and open your email to confirm that you want to pair your headset. So once confirmed, your headset will now be paired to your Yulio account. You can ensure your headset has connected successfully by logging into your Yulio account from your desktop. So I'm going to take us over to my account here. So here I've logged in to my Yulio account. To check in on my headset status, I can go over to this headsets tab by clicking on this button here. And then you should see under the My Headsets tab that your headset has been connected successfully here. And you can see the date it was connected as well to verify. So from this page, this is where you will manage all of the headsets connected to your account. If you have multiple headsets connected to your account, you can rename them here as well. So just by typing in this name bar, I've named mine Nicole's headset just to keep track of things. Okay, so now that your headset is connected, you can start adding projects to your headset gallery, and those will update in that company lobby that we had just seen. So you can add projects to your headset gallery under this Headset Projects tab. So when you select Add Project, you'll be able to one by one start adding projects to your headset gallery from your project folders. So let's go ahead and start adding. So you can add and store up to 20 projects to your headset gallery. And once they've successfully loaded onto your device, you'll be able to view them on your headset moving forward with or without internet. So that's great if maybe you're out presenting to a client or meeting with a client and you're not certain that you'll have a stable internet connection. That's a really great part of, of having them pre-downloaded on your headset. Just going to add one more here. Perfect. So from your headset gallery page here, you can add and delete projects at any time. If you want to delete a project, you would just select this red delete button. And the final thing I want to note here before moving on is that all projects featured here in your headset gallery or headset projects tab will load to all headsets you've paired here under the My Headsets tab. So I just want to point this out because it's something to keep in mind if you have multiple headsets connected to your account. They will all share the same headset gallery. Now, if you want to have separate galleries on separate headsets, we recommend using our client galleries feature. I'll go over this later in our session, but just keep that in mind. All right, so before we get into viewing and presenting in VR, I'm going to go over a couple of customizations that you can make to your VR experience. So the first is your company lobby. To do this, I'm just going to click on the email here associated with my account, and then I'm going to go to company settings. From this page, I'm going to select custom branding. So I'm going to scroll down here to company lobby. This is like the background environment that your projects are displayed in when you open the Yulio app. If you're an admin on your Yulio account, you can customize this lobby to reflect any scene from any of your projects. So to do this, just click on the Change Lobby button here. And then you're going to select a folder from, or sorry, select a project from one of your folders and then click Add. So anytime you do this, the first scene in that project will be chosen as the lobby. So you can't customize which scene in the project appears as a lobby. It's always the first scene. If you wanted to choose a specific scene in a project as your lobby, you can just create a new project that contains only that scene. And then you can come here and select that project with one single scene as your company lobby. Once you update the lobby, you'll see a preview of that new lobby just here in this window. Another thing you can do from this page is upload your company logo. So by uploading a logo here, your logo will appear each time you open any of the projects on your account. And it will appear whether you're opening them in browser mode or VR. So it's just a simple way to add some personalization to your VR projects. Okay, so moving on, now that you have connected your headset and you've uploaded some projects, at this point you're all set to start viewing your projects in VR. So at this point, you would put your headset back on and go ahead and open up the Yulio Viewer app. I'm just going to go to this video here. So this person's going to go ahead and open the app on their headset. Now, after putting on your headset and opening the Yulio Viewer app, you should see something like this. So we are currently in this person's company lobby. So you'll see shortly that they're going to go ahead and set their hand controllers down. And when they do this, you'll notice a message on screen that says Gaze Control Active. Gaze Control is another feature that we have that helps make the viewing experience as simple as possible. So instead of using your controllers to select projects and click on hotspots, you can just use your gaze. So they're going to hold their gaze over one of the projects to open it, and that's how you um, activate hotspots or click on things, just by holding your gaze over them. So as this person looks around, you'll notice these solid white circles in the middle of the screen. This is a navigation hotspot. What they're going to do is, as they look around, this small gaze indicator is what they'll use to, like I said, click on things, navigate to new scenes, activate hotspots. If you prefer, you can always pick up your hand controllers at any time and use those to activate hotspots. So if you're familiar with viewing in browser mode, viewing in VR is very similar. There are a few different ways that you can navigate scene to scene. The first is using navigation hotspots, which you saw this person already activated. Those are those solid white circles. Navigation hotspots are Yulio's form of point to point navigation. So they help give a sense of walking through the experience. I'm just going to go back to show you that again. So to activate the hotspot, you'll just place your gaze on the hotspot and hold it for a couple of seconds. The next way you can navigate is with the floor plan if there's one included in the project. So to find the project floor plan while viewing in VR, you'll just look down slightly and you'll see this menu appear with the floor plan button included. You could also see navigation arrows there as well. I'll just go back to that quickly. So those navigation arrows on the left of the menu, you can use those to navigate to the next scene or the previous scene if you prefer. But this person's going to go ahead and open the floor plan. And just like when you're viewing in browser mode, you can identify where you're standing in the project by the blue colored location marker. And then the red location markers are where you can navigate to just by holding your gaze over them. So now we're back at the lobby area, and as you can see, there's various other enhancement hotspots around the scene, which again, you can activate by holding your gaze over them. As a reminder, Yulio's hotspot options include text, image, video, audio, and AR. And you'll see this user is just going to go through and activate some of those hotspots in this project just to give you an idea of what they look like in VR. Now, if you look down and open that menu again, there's a button to exit the project, and that's how you can return back to your company lobby. Okay, now I'm gonna go back to my slides and just show you one more video here. This video is to give you an example of what you'll see when you open an AR hotspot in a VR headset. So, in case you don't know, AR hotspots essentially allow you to view project elements in full 360. And when viewing in a headset, they will appear as a digital overlay on your real physical space. So you can actually see how they fit into your own surroundings. For our furniture clients, for example, this is a great tool for showcasing to your client how a piece of furniture might fit in their existing space. So when viewing an AR hotspot, I'll just press play here. You would want to pick up your hand controllers again because you do need them in order to interact with AR objects. So this user has their AR hotspot open. They've already opened the model, and this is what they'll see. So they can move it, move the object, rotate it, lift it. You can even get up close to it and walk around it. And then you'll also notice when they look down at their hand controllers here. Let's go forward. Sorry about that. You'll notice that eventually they're going to look down at their controllers and there'll be some text there that indicates what each of those buttons on your controllers do as it relates to interacting with the AR model. So you can actually see um, what each button does. You can rotate and lift, move the object, change the environment, or exit the model altogether. Perfect. Okay, so now that we've gone over viewing your projects in VR, I'm going to return to my Yulio account and go over a couple of ways you can share your VR projects, specifically to headset users. Okay, so first I want to go over client galleries because I mentioned it earlier. So you can access client galleries by selecting the resources tab from the top navigation menu and then selecting client galleries. So, client galleries, if you don't know, allows you to create and share collections of up to 20 projects directly with a client, or even create a curated gallery of projects for an upcoming event or a trade show. As it relates to headsets specifically, client galleries can be a really great tool to use if you have more than one headset and you want to showcase separate project galleries on separate headsets. Because if you remember earlier, I noted that any headsets connected under your headsets tab will automatically be loaded with the projects in your headset gallery. So, by creating a client gallery and connecting the headset to that specific gallery, it's a great way to keep things separate if that's what you need. So to create a client gallery, you're going to just from this page here, select client gallery. And then you'll notice there's two gallery options for you to choose from. We have individual gallery and event. And you can create an unlimited number of either gallery. So, individual gallery allows you to share a portfolio of projects directly with a client. It essentially provides them a place to log in, they can view their gallery, and they can also connect their own headset to view their gallery projects in VR as well. If they do connect a headset, anytime you update the gallery with new projects, those projects will be sent directly to the client's connected headset. So it's super convenient. An event gallery allows you to create a curated gallery of projects for an event, a trade show, or even a meeting. And you can connect your headset to that specific gallery. So it's essentially just allows you to set up and manage a collection of projects on your headset that are specific to your upcoming event. Individual galleries can be viewed in browser mode or a VR headset, but event galleries can only be viewed in a VR headset. So, for an individual gallery, let's say you wanted to create one, you'll essentially just be met with a few steps here. You'll enter your client's name and email, you'll add projects to the gallery, and then save and send the invite. Um, from there, your client will get an invitation to their email to access the gallery. They don't have to have or pay for a Yulio license to open the gallery. It's free for them to use. Um, they can also connect their own headset later, or you can connect a headset for them. And then here is what the event gallery looks like. You'll essentially just name your event, add projects to the gallery, and connect headsets. There's no invitation involved with this type of gallery. And then I'll just show you here. I have made two galleries. So this is a client gallery for Nicole, and then we have a uh, spring event gallery here. And that just contains some different projects there. Okay. The next thing I want to talk about is a newer feature that we have that helps you send your projects to any headset more easily. So, this is our new Share by QR code feature. As you might know already, all projects in your Yulio account have an associated QR code. Um, Previously, it was there to allow anyone to scan that code with their phone or tablet and view the project on their device. They can still do that, but recently we've expanded that feature to include headsets. So now anyone with a MetaQuest Pro 3, 3S, or newer um, can scan a project's QR code with their headset's camera, and it will automatically load in the Yulio app for them to view in VR. Um, they need to have one of those more recent MetaQuests, just because they have the headset has to have a full color camera for um, scanning the codes. Um, but anyways, this is more convenient. This is just a more convenient method for allowing clients or other external members outside of your Yulio account to view your projects because, of course, previously, in order to view a Yulio project on a headset, that headset had to be either connected to the Yulio account or a client gallery. Now, essentially, anyone with a compatible MetaQuest can view the projects in VR. All they have to do is download the Yulio app to their headset. So once they have the Yulio app, when the app is open, they'll just look down to find a scan Yulio QR code button, and that will open up the scanner. Just as a reminder, you can share the QR code just by sharing the link to the project in browser mode. So I'll just show you that. So let's say I wanted to share this project. I can go open the project, go to the share tab, and then just share this um, link with them. When they open the project in browser mode, Anyone can click on the share button here, and that will pull up the QR code for them to scan with their headset. Another way you can do it is again from this share tab, selecting this QR code button, and you can download the QR code and share it directly with them as well. Okay, so this not only works for viewing projects, but also works for joining a collaborate session from a VR headset. And I'm actually going to wrap up the webinar today with a mock collaborate session. So I'll show you where you can access that QR code in just a minute. So let's go ahead and open collaborate. I'm just going to click on this collaborate button. So I want to go ahead and host a mock session with you today so that you can see how you can present your projects with team members or clients in VR moving forward. If you haven't used Collaborate yet, it is essentially an elevated presentation mode. So when you host a session, you can have everyone meet in the same virtual space. You can guide viewers around the space, see what others are seeing, and even collect feedback from them. So we see Collaborate used for in person and remote meetings, and even at events. With Collaborate, anyone that you're meeting with in person or remotely can all join in on their own headset or in browser mode if they don't have a headset. I do want to mention that you can't launch a Collaborate session from a VR headset. So, as the host, you will always launch and present a Collaborate session from your browser, but guests are welcome to join from their headset or their browser. When you launch a Collaborate session, the first project in your headset gallery will auto load by default. So, that's that headset gallery that's in your Yulio account. If you prefer to turn this feature off and manually select your projects each time you want to host a session, you can do so just by going to the settings tab here. So you'll launch your session, go to the settings tab, and then turn off auto load first headset gallery project. This way, the next time you open a session, you can select which project you're hosting in. Okay, so there's a few different ways your guests can join a Collaborate session depending on the device they're joining with. So, if your guests are in a headset that has been connected to your Yulio account, or you're launching a project from a client gallery where the headset is connected, the project will auto load in the Yulio Viewer app once the Collaborate session launches. So, all your client or your colleague will have to do is put on their headset and open the Yulio app, and they will automatically join the session. If they don't have a headset that is connected to your Yulio account or a client gallery, they can join by simply scanning the session's QR code with their headset's camera. So, again, that's our new scan by QR code feature. So, from the Add Participants tab, that's where you can find this QR code. So, that's previously how um, your guests would join if they wanted to join in on their cell phone or their tablet. Um, Essentially, you would just share your screen with them and they would put their headset on, launch the Yulio app, and look down to find that scan Yulio QR code button. And then that would open up the scanner for them to scan this session's QR code. Again, as a reminder, this feature does require that the user has a MetaQuest headset with a full color camera. So that includes right now the Quest Pro 3 or 3S. If your guest is not joining from a headset at all, they can join from their phone by scanning this QR code, um, or they can join from any mobile or desktop browser just by going to live.yulio.com and then entering the unique group code. So this session's code is M7Y9. So, to give you an idea of how a collaborate session might look and work moving forward from your guest perspective, I'm going to give you the chance to join this mock session. So, if you'd like to join, you can go ahead and join from your phone. Just open your camera app and go ahead and scan that QR code. Or if you have your VR headset ready to go, you can join me from there as well. If you have um, the Yulio app already downloaded, you can just look down, find that scan QR code button, and then go ahead and scan that code. Okay, so as I continue this session, if you've joined, you can look at my screen to see what your perspective will be as the host moving forward. What you see on your own device is what your guests will see as the participants. Keep in mind, if you've joined from a mobile device, the headset experience is much more immersive than viewing from your phone, but it's still a great experience. The first thing I want to point out is a more recent feature that allows you to speak to and hear from your guests right within the Collaborate session. So that's our live meeting tool. And this can be activated through our Start Chat button. So live meeting is an integrated function within Collaborate, and it allows you to chat live with your guests right within the Collaborate session. So this means you no longer have to use an external communication or meeting tool to chat with your guests while in Collaborate. What's great about this tool is that it works whether your guests are joining from a smartphone, desktop, tablet, or a VR headset. To turn it on, you would just click on this Start Chat button, and you'd be able to start communicating in real time with your clients or colleagues. I'm going to leave it off today so it doesn't interfere with the webinar, but it is a super simple tool to use and can really elevate your Collaborate sessions. So if I were using it today, I'd go ahead and turn it on now. All right, now for presenting your Collaborate sessions, as the host, there's two modes that you can present in. We have Explore mode and Present mode. And you can see those tabs right here at the left side of my screen. So by default, your Collaborate sessions will always open in Present mode. And we recommend starting off in this mode because it gives you, as the host, the control to guide your viewers through the experience and direct your viewers' attention to certain areas in a scene. So in this mode, only the host can activate hotspots and move to new scenes. Each time the host activates a hotspot or enters a new scene, those actions will be reflected for the guest. That being said, your guest screens are not going to mirror your screen exactly. So even though you're in the same scene, they might be looking in a different direction than you. So, as the host, what you can do to direct your guest's attention to a certain area is just use the spotlight button at the top right side of your screen. It looks like a flashlight. So, let's say I wanted to move your attention over to this text hotspot. I can move my gaze over there, and then select the spotlight button. And then that will redirect everyone's attention over to this hotspot. So if you join the session, you should notice that you've moved, your gaze has moved in the same direction as mine. Okay, so here's our text hotspot. And you'll notice as well when I click on that hotspot, it should open up on your screen also. Now I'm going to go ahead and click on this navigation hotspot and move to our second scene. As you can see here, we are viewing this scene from a new perspective. And we can continue activating hotspots here as well. So there's an AR hotspot. I'm not going to open that, but this is the browser mode experience. So from a desktop, you can still view AR. It just kind of allows you to view that object in full 360. And here's an image hotspot. And we can also open up a floor plan here as well. So while in present mode, as the host, I can also give presenter privileges to my guests at any time. To do this, I would just click on their name. And then from there, they'd be able to take control of the presentation by activating hotspots, looking around the scene, moving to new scenes, and so on. And then to take back control, I could just click back on my name. Now, in addition to present mode, we have explore mode. So I'm just going to click on that now. In this mode, all guests can explore the project freely. So that includes activating hotspots and navigating to new scenes. While you're in explore mode, this mode will gaze through each guest view every 10 to 15 seconds on your end so that you can see what your guests are looking at and where they're exploring in the project. Again, if you're in explore mode and you want to take back control, you can just click back on present. All right, so that will end our collaborate session. I'm going to just exit that. And that wraps up today's webinar. So I hope that you were able to learn some helpful tips for setting up your VR headset and viewing and presenting in VR. I appreciate you all for joining me today. If you have any questions, you can submit them now in the question box, and I will stick around for a few minutes to answer those. As a reminder, if you want to book an additional training session with me on anything we did or didn't cover today, my email is up on the screen there, so please feel free to reach out and I'll happily work with you to set up a time for us to meet. You can also see the webinar schedule there as well. We do have regular webinars. I host them monthly, a couple times a month. So you can always register in advance just by going to our webinar page. So that's try.yulio.com/webinars. All right, that is it for today. Thank you again for joining me and have a great rest of your day.